The new movie is called Spider-Man Brand New Day, and almost everyone assumes it's based on the comic with the same name. It's not. Or at least, not really, because the title is a misdirect. This movie is secretly fusing 3 different Spider-Man comics into one, and one of them is so dark it ends with Peter Parker dying. Once you understand these 3 comics, you'll basically know what's going to happen in this movie. The memory wipe, the mutation, the cocoon, and the rebirth. So let me walk you through all 3 in order and show you exactly how the trailer is pulling from each one. No spoilers from leaks, just the comics the movie is built on. Here's how this works. Comic 1, One More Day, explains how Peter ended up alone. Comic 2, Brand New Day, explains the world he's living in now. And Comic 3, The Other, explains the terrifying thing happening to his body. The movie takes a piece from each. Let's start at the beginning, with the most hated Spider-Man comic ever written. Comic 1, One More Day, 2007. And fair warning, comic fans hate this one. Here's why. After Spider-Man publicly revealed his identity, his enemies came for his family, and Aunt May got shot, dying in a hospital bed. Peter, desperate, goes to everyone. Iron Man, Doctor Strange, Reed Richards, and nobody can save her. Then, a demon shows up, Mephisto, and he offers Peter a deal. I'll save Aunt May, and I'll make the entire world forget you're Spider-Man. But in exchange, I take your marriage to Mary Jane. Not end it, erase it, like it never happened. Peter takes the deal. Reality rewrites itself, and that is exactly what the movies already did to you. You just didn't realize it. In No Way Home, Peter asked Doctor Strange to make the world forget he's Spider-Man, to protect the people he loves. Same outcome as One More Day. The world forgets Peter Parker, just with Strange's magic instead of a literal demon. So before Brand New Day even starts, the movie has already adapted comic number 1.
Comic 2, Brand New Day, 2008. The comic the movie is named after. After the memory wipe, this was a soft reboot. Spider-Man back to basics. Single, broke, secret identity safe again. Just a struggling guy in New York doing the hero thing day to day. No Avengers, no Stark Tech bailing him out. And honestly, fans came to love this era because it was the most classic Spider-Man had felt in years. This is where the movie gets its whole vibe. Kevin Feige literally called it the first classic Spider-Man movie they've made, a lonely Peter in a small apartment listening to a police scanner. The comic also introduced new villains, like Mr. Negative, the villain from the PlayStation game, so keep an eye out for faces like that. But here's the one big difference, and it matters. In the comic, Peter doesn't remember the life he lost. In the movie, he does. He remembers MJ, he remembers Ned, he has to watch them not know him. That's so much more painful. And it means, unlike the comic, this Peter might fight to win them back.
And now, Comic 3, the one that actually tells you what's happening to Peter in this movie. It's called The Other, Evolve or Die, from 2005. And this is the dark one. In it, Peter's powers start glitching and failing. He goes for tests and gets horrifying news. He's not just sick, he's dying. The spider bite that gave him his powers is now killing him. Then his oldest nightmare returns, Morlun, a vampire who feeds on spider-powered beings across the multiverse. Morlun hunts Peter down and beats him to the edge of death, even rips out one of his eyes. Peter's dying in a hospital when Morlun goes after Mary Jane, and something snaps. Peter wakes up, but not as Peter. He's feral, fangs, a glowing eye, and bone stingers erupting from his wrists. He savagely kills Morlun, and then he dies. But here's where it gets mystical. His body is taken away, and it's found empty, shed, like a husk a spider leaves behind. And then, under the Brooklyn Bridge, a giant web cocoon appears. Inside it, Peter meets a giant spider deity, the Other, the Great Weaver, who tells him he spent his whole life treating his spider side like a costume, a toy. And it offers him a choice, evolve or die. Once in its life, a spider may shed its skin, shed its past, and begin anew. Peter accepts the spider within, and he's reborn from that cocoon, completely healed. Even his eye grew back with brand new powers, organic webbing straight from his body.
wrist stingers, night vision, and a deeper connection to the spider totem. Now look at the trailer again. Failing powers, mutating DNA, organic webbing that shoots his mechanical web shooters right off his body, black eyes, a web cocoon, and everyone, including Tom Holland and the director, using one word: rebirth. This isn't a coincidence. The movie is adapting The Other, almost beat for beat, which means there's a real chance the movie does what the comic did. Peter Parker dies and is reborn as something more than human.
So put it all together and you can see Marvel's clever trick. The title comes from Brand New Day. The setup, the world forgetting Peter, comes from One More Day done through No Way Home. And the actual plot, the dying, the cocoon, the rebirth, comes from The Other. 3 separate comics fused into one movie. That's why the title is a misdirect. It's selling you a cozy reset, while the real story underneath is one of the darkest Spider-Man ever told. And there's one thing the comics can't tell us: what Marvel will leave out. The comic version is deeply mystical, a spider god, a multiverse vampire named Morlun. The movie has been pitched as grounded and street level, so they might skip Morlun and the spider deity entirely and explain the change as a mutation instead, which is why Bruce Banner, a mutation expert, is in the film. Same destination, death and rebirth, different road. Here's why this matters beyond just one movie. In the comics, The Other ties Peter to the Spider Totem, a cosmic web connecting every Spider-Man across the multiverse. And the multiverse is exactly what's collapsing in Avengers Doomsday 2 months later. So Peter's rebirth might not be random. It could be his powers evolving as a defense, right as reality itself comes under attack. The small Spider-Man movie could be quietly tied to the biggest event in the MCU. Quick honesty, Marvel hasn't officially confirmed the movie adapts The Other, or that Peter dies. That part's my read of the trailer plus the comics. But the One More Day and Brand New Day connections, those are rock solid. So now you know the 3 comics behind this movie. One More Day, the deal that erased Peter's life, which the films did through No Way Home. Brand New Day, the back-to-basics world that gives the movie its title and tone. And The Other, the dark story of Peter dying and being reborn, which the trailer is screaming. If you want to read one before the movie, start with The Other. It's the one that'll actually spoil what's coming. Which of these would you want the movie to follow most? Tell me below. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you in next video.